uh, mapper annotations in MyBatis. Now we are focusing on mapper annotations. Since the very beginning, MyBatis has been an XML driven framework. The configuration is XML based and the mapped statements are defined in XML. With MyBatis 3, there are new options available. MyBatis 3 builds on top of a comprehensive and powerful Java-based configuration API. This configuration API is the foundation for the XML-based MyBatis configuration, as well as the new annotation-based configuration. Annotations offer a simple way to implement simple mapped statements without introducing a lot of overhead. As an example, we can consider this. This example shows using select key annotation to retrieve value from a sequence before an insert. Annotation insert, the annotation that specify an SQL for inserting records. Annotation select key, the annotation that specify an SQL for retrieving key value. Now we are considering mapper annotations in SQL session. Here the annotation interface cache namespace. This the annotation that is specified to use caching on namespace, for example mapper interface. This is in the package org.apache.ibatis.annotations. The target is a class and XML equivalent is cache. Configures the cache for given namespace, that is class, attributes, implementation, eviction, flush interval, size, read write, blocking, and properties. Now we are considering mapper annotation examples. This example shows using at select key annotation to retrieve a value from a sequence before insert. The annotation interface select key, the annotation that specify an SQL for retrieving key value, is in the package org.apache.ibatis.annotations. Here this is an example shows this at select key annotation to retrieve an identity value after an insert. This example shows using at flush annotation to call SQL session at hash flush statements. The annotation interface flush, the mark annotation that invoke a flush statement via mapper interface. This example shows how to name result map specifying ID attributes of at results annotation. The annotation interface results, the annotation that be grouping mapping definition for property. This in the package org.apache.ibatis.annotations. Now here this example shows solo parameter using select provider annotation. The annotation interface the select provider and the annotation that is specify a method that provide and SQL for retrieving record. This is in the package org.apache.ibatis.annotations. This example shows multiple parameters using SQL provider annotations. If not use at param, you should be define the same arguments with mapper method. If use at param, you can define the only argument to be used. This example shows usage that share SQL provider class to all mapper methods using global configuration available since 3.5.6. Here they specify an SQL provider class for sharing on all mapper methods. Here can omit type value attributes on SQL provider annotations. If omitted, the MyBatis will apply the class that is specified in the default SQL provider type. Here the annotation type, annotation interface select provider, the annotation that is specify a method that provides us an SQL for retrieving records. Annotation interface insert provider, and the annotation that is specify a method that provide an SQL for inserting records. This is retrieving records. The annotation interface update provider, that and the annotation that is specify a method that provide an SQL for updating records. The annotation interface delete provider, the annotation that is specify a method that provide an SQL for deleting records. Here the same with at select provider template file path provider.class. Here the same with at insert provider template file path provider.class. Here the same with at update provider template file path.provider class. Here the at delete provider, same with at delete provider template file path provider.class. This example shows the usage of default implementation of provider method resolver available since MyBatis 3.5.1 or later. Interface provider method resolver, the interface that resolved an SQL provider method via an SQL provider class. This is in the package org.apache.mybatis.builder.annotation. Implements the provider method resolver on your provider class. The default implementation in default implementation, it will resolve the method that the method name mismatch with the mapper method. In this example shows usage of database ID attribute on annotations. Use this statement if database ID provide Oracle. Use this statement if database ID provide Postgres. Use this statement if the database provider not configured or not matches database ID. As an error example, we can consider this: cannot use both ampersand at and ampersand many annotations in the same ampersand result. This error occurred in MyBatis 3.2.6. Now this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for watching it.